looks like sausage. In my experience, bad sausage happens for one of three reasons, or a combination of one or more. And the first one is wrong salt content. So they're either way too salty or not salty enough. That 1.75% ratio that I gave you is, in my opinion, really the best percentage for fresh sausage. It's going to go up as you do emulsifications, as you do dry sausages, which we'll talk about in future videos. And if you go to France, it might be a little bit less than that. When some of the real traditional charcutiers there are doing more like 1.4 perhaps. But 1.75 is what I really like. So assuming your salt content is right, another thing that's bad sausage is attributed to is improper moisture content. A lot of master recipes will give you like a 10% liquid component, and in my opinion, if you're using more dry seasonings that are going to soak up that liquid, you need to up that liquid quotient. So I say 10 to 14%, and it's really largely based on what all else you're putting in your sausage recipe. And then the third thing, in my opinion, that contributes to bad sausage is a poor texture. And there's two reasons that poor texture is going to be your sausage's undoing. One, it's going to create a bad eating experience if it's over emulsified, if it's overground. Also, you're going to get poor binding of the seasonings if you don't have varying textures inside the sausage casing. So what I like to do, a really easy trick for making sure you get good texture, is to send everything through that coarse plate. And then without changing plates, without doing anything funky, all you have to do is take half of this mixture and just send it right back through the coarse die. And that's going to give you a nice variation in texture and a great bind with your seasoning. Okay, so we've done a second grind on half of the meat, and so if you look at the difference in texture, this is the first grind, this is the second grind, so you have a really nice variation without a lot of extra work. So now I'm just going to mix those two different textures together really well with the seasonings until I feel like, I have uniform mixture. And then I will put this in the refrigerator until I am ready to stuff. So this is the stage at which you'll want to test the recipe. And you do that very simply by taking a small amount of the mixture, the bulk mixture at this point, and making a little patty. And I do everything with cast iron, so I'm going to stick this in a little cast iron pan and get that going. And this way, before I get it stuffed in the casings, I'll know whether or not it actually tastes worth a damn. And I have time when the bulk mixture is in the bowl to add extra things, and I know that I want to add some sage. Tiny herb garden. The way you can see from this is that as long as your fat content and your lean content and your salt content and your moisture content are right, really the sky's the limit in terms of what you can add. So imagine how creative you can get and how much fun you can have making your own sausage cuts.